Well, I'm not a financial guy. I got you. It actually has made me think about things differently, you know, because I would have really just kind so this has been pretty cool. You know, apart from the incident,
We will work on it. We could all have to sing about the year. Are you the camera one? First time. Whose first time is it at 1 million cups? Well, you'll do wonderful. All right. Who's been here before and brought somebody? Oh, well, thank you for bringing somebody, and thank you for attending 1 million cups. This is a weekly educational program right here at Rose State. We have 2 local entrepreneurs that are going to come up and speak about their businesses. We're going to pitch for 6 minutes with 20 minutes, you know, feedback, question and answers, that type of thing. So we're going to have a contest today. We've got some gifts to give away. So everybody, who's on Twitter? Everybody on Twitter? No, we should all be on Twitter. 1 million cups OKC. Ask us a question before the end of today, or before the end of this little hour, and we have a giveaway for a couple people that ask us questions. So at 1 million cups OKC on Twitter. And also follow us on Facebook and join the Facebook group. As far as the Facebook group goes, we just launched it last week. We're trying to get everybody more involved with it, more into it. So if you know a business that you'd like to see come up here, we'll contact them. Just post it in the Facebook group. Name the business, we'll locate them, we'll find them, we'll get in contact with them, and say, hey, you know, we'd like you to come up here and present for 1 million cups. We're in constant need of presenters. Yeah, if you know anybody just that you were friends with or something like that, have to go to 1millioncups.com/OKC, and right there's an apply to present button. So they can just apply, we'll contact them, and we'll work everything out from there. All right, so we've got 2 presenters today. Both of them are here, so that's a good thing. And our first one is going to be Megan. Where you at? Megan from Arte's Vita Academy. Is that right? Yes. All right, awesome. All right, come on up, Megan.
Thank you so much. All right. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day in Oklahoma. Absolutely love it. You're not going to hit 100? Okay, let's get started. Our government is downsizing the military. And hold on, before I start, I need to have the other view screen, if I could. Okay. Do the edit shot. Apologize for the false start. We'll reboot right here. We're just seeing how patient. Yeah, you know the presenter's view? It says use presenter's view. Do we know how to run that sound?
Anybody else? Presenter's view?
I'll get
under view at the top right.
Sorry, guys.
Bottom right. There you go.
There you go. No, that's not showing me mine.
Top right under view.
Under view.
Then there should be a
Oh,
drop.
gotcha.
There you go.
Oh, maybe. I can grab my notes too. There we go, but that's what you guys see. Sorry. I can grab my notes. We can do it.
Down on the bottom.
Is there a where it says notes and comments at the bottom?
Bottom right.
Yeah.
Further over.
Further over.
Float over.
There we go.
Well, slideshow will do that, but if you go back to it,
The one to the left of
to
that.
the left of that.
Well, I guess it's our left.
That's okay. Farther left.
I'll just grab my notes. We'll make it easy. Sorry, Beth. Let's start.
No, it's...
Don't forget to tweet us a question. 1 minute at a time. Okay.
You always come with backup on your technology. Okay, let's try this.
Notes is near it, right?
Yeah, do you see it? It's enabled.
No, I like that.
Slideshow. Yes.
And it's not advancing on you? No, it's advancing. We're trying to get presenters views. So she has her.
Check right here.
Oh, is the computer set up with split screens or is it mirroring?
There you go. That should
It's
do it.
mirroring.
Ah,
Aha.
how do you look?
Sorry, it took a while for the gears to
Thank you.
turn.
So we need to get.
Let me find a technician.
It's okay. He's right.
I keep right here.
Oh, that's not very cool.
Frequent flyer faces.
I just need the presenter. So I can
We should have
My exactly.
The crazy part was that definitely less alert.
I'm sorry. Pretty.
Straightforward.
We're going to pass around a fishbowl. If you brought a guest, please put your card in. Your card hasn't been in before. If you are new, please put your card in. So we're going to pass this around and we're going to draw
Nice.
the prize.
How many video cards you got in that box?
We're going to roll with our punches here. Okay?
Ready? Okay, here we go again.
Okay.
Ready? Our government is downsizing the armed forces to pre-World War II levels. Based on the Department of Labor statistics, 1 in 12 of our nation's heroes are unable to find jobs to support their families and require additional life skills to transition into civilian life. I know this firsthand. My name is Megan McKay, and I'm a military spouse. This year, my husband, who has served active duty for 16 years, will either be deployed for a year, transferred to another 4-year assignment, or be forced into early separation. Veteran families like ours are not alone. That is why I have founded AVA, Artes Pro Vita Academy, translated in Latin, Skills for Life. AVA's mission is to build a multimedia support community dedicated to helping people of all ages develop life skills to transition through life. Whether you're transitioning careers, graduating from college, becoming a parent, or looking to retire, life skills are needed to survive. AVA is the solution. Through customized interactive workshops, responsive online modules, as well as Train the Trainer certifications, AVA's life skills will be available 24/7, providing a curriculum based on the life learning process. Look and listen, imagine, focus, and empower. Within the AVA library, PowerPoint, old version, there are currently 4 divisions of curriculum: character development, personal finance, professional development, and well-being. According to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, video is where students spend time. By 2017, it is said, video will be 93% of all internet traffic. Each ABA module will consist of 4 2.5-minute videos covering the life learning process via audio, visual, and tactile exercises through adaptive learning and multisensory teaching. Once complete, each student will receive a PDF certificate and access to the ABA resource library, allowing them to connect with the best APA-style resources and references online. Via ABA's chalkboard, or blog, ABA will continue to assess students' needs, guiding the development of future programs and products. Through social media, ABA will be liked and shared, and ABA testimonials are currently being made, encouraging people to tell their stories and successes in life. There are nearly 900,000 unemployed veterans in the United States today. The latest Department of Labor statistic is the average unemployment rate among veterans is 12.1%. Initially, ABA will focus on this target market, specifically veterans between the age of 34 and 65. ABA has currently moved into phase 2 growth. We are focusing on scaling and meeting the students' needs. Once established and revenues increase, ABA will expand into additional markets, such as the private, corporate, government, or education sectors. ABA currently operates as an LLC with an S-Corp option in the government and corporate sector. 10% of all ABA revenues are contributed to the Artes Pro Vita Foundation, which last month received its 501c3 status. This will allow us to provide ABA curriculum and life skills to the K-20 education sector for free. I personally have invested $8,500 to turn ABA into a revenue-generating business. In the past 15 months, we have tested and delivered over 750 hours of customized live workshops. Revenues currently are over $60,000 and forecasted to grow 9% monthly. Projections to break $200,000 in 2 years, $1.2 million in 5 years. ABA is at a critical point and currently seeks $75,000 from multiple funding options. It is time to reach all who want to succeed. These funds will be used to scale and grow the business, scaling and capabilities to build the team and our equipment. The team currently consists of me, my husband, and the ABA mascot. In addition, Kate Bruck, who is a military spouse and mom, and Nellie, who is a military spouse and mother of triplets. We have an advisory board of 12 professionals in 6 different states that meet on a quarterly basis via Skype. 3 academic interns we have just hired at Cameron University through the multimedia program to produce our video modules. And over 20 personal and professional contacts that meet every month to review our curriculum in development. Whether you're transitioning from the military, a parent, or looking to retire, everyone has a need to learn skills to transition through different phases in life. With $75,000, life skills will be in the palm of your hand, via phone, iPad, or laptop.
The big one.
Yes.
What is stopping you from growing right now? Just $75,000?
Right now, that's it. Its revenues are increasing, but I got to scale the team. It's really about manpower. I'm doing it bootstrapping and partnered with universities to get interns, academic interns for free, who are experts in this video content. That's what's stopping me right now. So it's really the scaling portion, but beyond that, through those partnerships, we hope to build staff to implement train-the-trainer certifications for corporate, private, and government. Yeah. Yes?
How's your site monetized?
Right now, me. As far as the funding into the site,
No, so what's your revenue model?
the revenue model right now is based on it's a variable revenue model. And it's based on, the income is coming from my corporate and government workshops. For the last 8 months, I have delivered the Department of Labor Transition Assistance Program required 3-day workshop at 5 bases in Texas and Oklahoma. That is part of the revenue. In addition, we started doing customer service workshops in the Southwest Quadrant, which is a high demand of soft skills, teaching how their employees can learn some of the basic character and professional development things, how to dress appropriately. To me, what I'd consider common sense to this crowd. But in small town America, there's a high demand for this, let alone the corporate sector.
So if the revenue comes through your consulting one-on-one, your in-person workshops rather than through the website.
Exactly, through the workshops currently. However, the website is up and running. We did our soft launch a year ago. We're going to do our hard launch September 30th. And we have 10 modules that we're producing that every week are going to start coming out. And hopefully to some crowdfunding that we might do that, as well as other kinds of investors that want to be part of that whole virtual rollout.
Do
That's the
people
plan.
pay for the video modules?
Not yet.
Okay.
Everyone who attends the workshops gets access for free.
Okay.
We're going to drop down a corporate sector landing page by the end of the month to start those. For example, in the corporate sector, we'll have a special code to go behind the scenes and see the specific corporate videos that we're rolling. The other ones are going to be out for free until the revenues increase and we can start to drop like an iTunes kind of promotional category from different stages, from tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So they'll get samplers and then they'll of course want to have to subscribe to pay more. But the goal is not to sell not only to individuals, but to corporate government sector that can provide maybe either certification to their HR teams, as well as, which is much more high dollar, as well as workshops, webinars, costs. Right now, for example, I'll be doing presentations for different organizations in Oklahoma City and Tulsa as their keynote speaker, speaking to the corporate sector. That's where our big revenues are coming from right now. So it's my face, but the goal is to grow beyond that.
So
Yes.
would that corporate would be the subscription model?
Yes. Yeah. Or license it. We could partner it through licensing. Once they're certified and we implement that program, they can get the corporate model, have access to say 20 logons, 20 IP addresses for a year, and then allow them to use that, whatever discretion. Behind the scenes, we're going to be tracking it IP so that we can implement the adaptive part of that to make sure that the employer knows so many people have logged on and who's not, how much time they're spending, thanks to Google Analytics and all those wonderful behind-the-scenes IT, so that they're held accountable for their teams and what they're paying for. Yes?
The financial projection that you showed, is that only consulting revenue, or is that the future subscription?
That's the future subscriptions. The subscriptions don't begin until we're aiming at the spring of next year. So right now, that projection growth is based on our workshop series. Then it's projected in 2016, mid-year, to start building the online portion, and then beyond that, train the trainer certification, so it picks up. Yes?
I get the idea, and I say, transitioning to veteran, I understand the need for it. But what exactly are the skills after going through this so-called transition assistance program, now called so-called GPS, et cetera, there's some different versions of it. So, in essence, my question is, exactly what skills are being taught or shared or, on the ADA?
Yeah, very good question. Are you former military or current
active,
military?
transitioning to hopefully be former years soon.
I can for you. So right now, Department of Labor has a 300-page document that is delivered via GDX consultants worldwide.
Right.
It is a power.
Yes.
Okay. What I do is 10 times more. And what we do is, for example, the first section, which covers stress. Each module we're releasing covers stress for 15 minutes, and very similar to what might use as a Khan Academy approach. We're at home or online, you can review the video, the content. Why is this important? How does it affect you? And what are you going to do about this for your life? And why is it important? Second, the next 45 minutes of every module is those exercises that are PDF group setting. So what we do is then say, okay, what are some of the stressors that are happening? And we do an interactive, actually, tactile audio visual exercise. Next section, for example, big thing with Department of Labor is the resume, right? What they do is say, here's how you write a resume. That's next. What I do is we actually do it. Everybody's got laptops, we format it. We start working through it. Right now, put in your personal information. So when they leave that day, they've actually got a hard copy drafted resume. It's taking it to the next level.
Right.
It's actually implementing it and doing it while they're sitting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your target market is corporations or the individual retiree releasing from the military or both? And how do you charge?
When we started looking at this, it was kind of like, oh my. Because the truth is, no matter what stage in life you are, whether it's a child or retiree, we need life skills. Some of us pick those skills up through different means at different stages in life. And what we have found based on the research is, specifically with the military, which is the target market right now, military veterans know the military language. They walk the walk, they dress the dress. It's a culture, it's a protocol. But outside of that gate, right here, it's a different world. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to ask. They don't know how to negotiate. They don't realize the skill set they've got is transferable. But how do you comprehend that? So what we do in all of our exercises, let's write down the skills that Uncle Sam says you have, which is all documented on their EBRs, OBRs, EMATs, things like that. And then we take it to the next step. Let's go out on Google and describe the job that you have and see what comes up, because those resources are available.
Okay,
So, yes.
I'm a corporation. Do you come in and train my HR department?
Yes.
Or do you come in and train my employees?
Both. Originally, right now, it's about bang for your buck. We want to do your HR department.
How many bucks?
Right now, we're charging $500 an hour for 25 people, okay? Which is very competitive right now. And as the demand grows, we will start to raise that. And I have some compatibility corporate sheets if you'd like some. Yes.
Now, I got a question because it seems I'm confusing on the target audience.
Yes.
The numbers you're giving are strictly on separated veterans, people that are unemployed, as a result of providing, service in the armed forces. Where does the corporation, because the key numbers you're providing are people that are unemployed or unemployable or transitioning, but you're talking about the corporation side, which at that point they would already be employed. So I understand the need for skill sets. I'm just trying to understand who is your target audience. Is it the transitioning people that you actually have numbers for, or is this corporations become the target or the focus because that's where you're getting your revenue from?
Yeah. For this presentation, the target market that we're currently gaining revenues from is the military. Why? Because there's a high demand for it right now. That is not going to continue.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm very aware of that. Right? So right now, that's our current market, and that's my partnership with Department of Labor. However, we are finding there is a need. Once you leave the military and are blessed with these skills and succeed and make more money at a better job in a happier location, the next step is, now that you're in that job, through the corporate sector, how do you continue to progress? Whether it's with that company or without, how do you continue to evolve professionally, personally, financially, health-wise, to a better life, no matter where you are? So we're starting to tap into that corporate market because all of a sudden my name was getting out. They're like, we need that. We need to teach our employees soft skills. And it's part of that's generational, which is a whole issue in itself. Part of it's historic. Part of it's timing. So our current market is the military because there's a high demand for it. That's going to evolve and hopefully never die, because I think all cultures need transitions. But the corporate sector is what we're aiming at next. Yes?
I have SEC and financial questions for you.
Please.
Have you filed your 504, 506, 507 Reg D yet?
No. My CPA and I are talking about that literally on Friday. We just received 501c3 status, and it's time.
Well, that's for your nonprofit. I'm talking about for your SEC filing.
Oh, not yet. She and I are talking about it because right now, as I shared, we're an LLC with an S-Corp option.
Okay.
Once revenues break about $100,000, hopefully here within the next 6 months, which is what we're far projected beyond, the goal is to turn into the S-Corp and look at that option because where this could go and the potential we see big light for.
Okay. And you are looking for 75,000. What is your valuation on that 75,000? What's the percentage?
Percentage right now, as far as our cost versus our expenses and the overall evaluation?
You're asking for $75,000.
Yes.
How much of your business are you giving up for $75,000?
That's negotiable. We're in the process of exploring that. Very good question.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned scalability as a challenge. I see it on two fronts. One is on the people side, where you have a face-to-face interaction, and obviously, you're trying to leverage that through a one-to-many solution with HR and things like that. On the video side, from a production perspective, have you considered curation of content through other creators that meet your criteria so that you can, add to your catalog of inventory and market that?
Absolutely, yes. Great. I'm glad you're thinking like that. So right now, with the partnership at Cameron University and a videographer I have hired, we are designing the rubric. We are implementing the rubric that is our brand, our market, that we're going to start to put out. So it looks consistent. It's constantly ABA. The goal is through the modules that I showed, there is, of course, the video, which is our content. Okay, so we'll own that, copyright it. The next is the PDFs, which we will own and copyright, and later start charging for. And more importantly, that resource library, which I highlighted, is going to be APA certified, because the dream, the ultimate dream, is for Artes Pro Vita Foundation to be Department of Education requirement with core and STEM in all public schools. But those links in the resource library, connecting people to, whether it's the Zig Ziglars, the Stephen Coveys, the actual resources, the 1MCs for entrepreneurship that actually do those stages that they're looking for. So right now, that's all free. We're promoting businesses left and right because they speak to what we believe in as far as our mission. We have our research and development, 2 individuals who do all my R&D, and we cross-check it and back-check it because it's going to be part of our brand.
Right.
And the goal is, in time, once we gain revenues and virtual success, is to start charging for that.
So the follow-up question to that is, when you take a look at competition out there,
yes,
you've got resources like lynda.com that were just, bought for $1 billion by LinkedIn and so forth.
Yes.
But they're purely a video distribution model.
That's right.
So is your key differentiator the people contact side of it, or do you see that being more of a content-focused element? Because lynda.com is all across the board.
Yes, I agree. It's so funny. That just happened this last month.
Yeah.
We've been watching it every day. The key goal right now is you can't just do online. And that's part of what's missing in the corporate and private sector is people still need human interaction. It's a missing gap. And so as we grow this, we hope, and my dream is to maintain the contact one-on-one. We still need to get together and communicate, no matter what. It's not just via text. So making sure that the two are connected and just as more, I guess you could say, interlinked.
We'll do one more question.
Yeah.
Hey, Stan from Rose State College, we need to visit. My number one client is Tinker Air Force Base, 5,000 uniformed active duty.
Yes.
And matter of fact, Sandy down there in the second row trained 1,000 people last year on transitional skills going from Tinker to the civilian world. And also talking to our local clients, they tell us that while education is really important, a degree is really important, they need those soft skills. I've got a learning management platform that we could share. I've got the client contacts. We just need to work out a partnership that can work out.
Tinker is so unique. Every base is so different. I've been blessed, and that's why I do it. Tinker is in hardship. I mean, they've been on BRAC list for how many years now?
Yeah, they're not on BRAC right now. But
they're off BRAC, which is good.
They're off BRAC.
Great, okay, great. And 35% of those retiring are getting contract jobs, which is great.
Are you an Army spouse?
Air Force.
Air Force, good, okay. We'll make it.
The question I did, sorry to jump in. Are you in competition with something such as the Transition Assistance Program that's already established?
Yes.
So I know Rose State has a lot of additional services, but is this a competitor now that you're offering?
And we worked with the Transition Office last year.
In fact, I love that you brought that up. I became a facilitator, Megan McKay, with the Department of Labor TAP back in December, as I was rolling out what I was doing. And part of that was literally, I'm part of the problem and the solution because of my life and how I can contribute. And through learning what the content is, which is 3 pages, Department of Labor certified.
After that class.
Yes, yeah. Were you in my class?
No, someone else. But
Bummer,
similar.
I'm so sorry. But it's about who's delivering it and how it's delivered. And what I realized was, okay, that's great. They're starting to hit this, which is great. And I commend them because there's a need. What I do is outside that. And what it is I take it to a whole other level. It's optional workshops, which we just received our Hub Zone certification in EDWOSB. And so I'm walking that path base by base to see if we can start doing the optional series, which is kind of intermediate and advanced levels with TAP. So I'm not competing with TAP. I don't want to take that out and be a facilitator. The goal is to kind of...
Well, no, the reason why,
No, you're gonna,
from military-minded,
yes.
Sometimes the challenge, as a feedback, you may have a challenge with the pride and ownership that the TAP program has,
Yes.
and building that inroads into finding the support that people actually utilize.
I've already had to do that.
Yes. Oh. So good luck.
No, I don't. I understand. I was a contractor and a civilian, and I married active duty. I speak the language and respect it, and it's one of those things that, yes, I've had to deal with that, and there's issues, and part of it's the whole business side of it, which I respect, competitive bidding side of it, and the kinds of employees they get to facilitate it. It's where it is, and I don't believe our troops deserve it. I think they deserve a whole nother level.
Yes.
That's where I'm.
As a 1 Million Cups community, what can we do to help you out?
Oh, guide me. All of these wondering, the main reason I'm here is, number one reason I'm here is to network and connect with the great minds that are there. I have learned through all the different venues of my life that you can never do it alone. It's about a team and a partnership, and I am here seeking words of wisdom, experience, and advice, possibly finance, to really see where we can implement this with the capabilities I have and you. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have a quick announcement, Stan. I believe you have something to announce.
Yeah, well, let me defer to Sandy Stevens. She's the director of our Small Business Development Center, which is housed in this building. Sandy?
I have a pretty good announcement, I think, for the group. I am starting to work on a grant for marketing for 1 Million Cups.
Yay!
And that grant would be up to
$5,000.
$5,000.
Awesome. Thank you.
That would go a long way on Facebook.
All right. Also, the OK Coders Camp begins September 29th, so make sure you get with the CCUW or OU to get that, to be a part of that. Global Startup Battlefield begins November 13th. So around that time, we don't have the dates yet for the startup weekend, but there should be an OKC startup weekend. Has anybody participated in a startup weekend?
Live.
Yeah, they're a blast. If you get a chance, I would highly recommend you come out for the weekend whenever we have the finalized dates. All right, our next presenter is going to be Hunter from Prairie Wolf Spirits.
I asked if I could, they wouldn't let me. I usually bring samples. Okay, how's it going, everybody? I'm Hunter Merritt. My family and I own and operate Prairie Wolf Spirits. We're the first distillery in Oklahoma. First question I was going to ask, why did you start a distillery? It's kind of an odd thing. It's a new thing for Oklahoma. You guys are as familiar as I am with the renaissance going on in Oklahoma right now. There's so many new restaurants, so many new entertainment venues of all sorts. The breweries are all doing well. So we wanted to see how the state would respond to locally made spirits, and it's going fairly well. Kind of quick history of how we got here. Working with the government was kind of tough because it didn't exist here yet. It's a new industry, which we found is kind of hard to get the wheels turning on. We went to the state and said we did all of our research a few months, went to the state and said we want to open our distillery, and they said you can't, it's not legal here. So we kind of had to start over and go through the process again with them and show them that we could, which was kind of fun to do, I guess, but kind of frustrating to do it over. It is tough as a new industry. Anytime we want to do, breweries or wineries, you can go and do tours, you can do tastings, you can do this and that. Every step we kind of have to start from ground one and show them that we can and go through it. We just been allowed to start doing tours, which is exciting. We built this beautiful building and we had to post a sign right here that says no visitors allowed, so we got to remove that, which was fun to let people into this cool place we built. Let's see here. Learning a new trade for us. You can home brew, you can home wine make. It's all, most of these kind of businesses you can kind of start in your garage and scale up. You can't home distill. I'll get on to you for that. Unless you're in Eastern Oklahoma and the hills. Yeah. So anyway, we had to go out of state. So I went to Chicago. My brother went to New York. My dad actually went to Denver. We kind of learned hands-on different areas, kind of unpaid internships pretty much for a couple of months, and then came back here and kind of blended all the styles that we learned into our own way. And then first thing we did was we drew out our distillery. This is going to go here, the still's here, and that's why I have hired people smarter than you on here. We had a consultant. We thought, let's go and hire a consultant, have him check this over. And he showed up with a red pen in hand and marked out about everything we'd done. He was a master distiller out of Kentucky for 30 plus years, and he, completely changed it all. If we wouldn't have done that, we'd be just in a mess right now. So that's something. Whenever people ask, what's the best piece of advice for new business, I always say, hire someone who's done this for many years and let them look at your entire plan. Don't be embarrassed to show them something you think might not be right. Let them look at it and fix it now, so you're not dealing with it, down the road. Let's see. Our current products we have. This is kind of our bell ringer product. This is the first one we started with, the vodka here. That's the one that everyone drinks. That's the one that's at most of the bars around town. We wanted to kind of get crafty with our second and third product. This is our all-natural coffee liqueur, kind of a Kahlua type product, but it's all natural. We don't use any artificial colorings, flavorings. Wine enthusiasts rates this higher than Kahlua, Patron XL, all those. Our gin is coming out. We have whiskey in the barrel aging that comes out in June.
The gin's already out.
The gin is out. Yeah, it's called Loyal Gin. Have you tried the gin? Or
I bought it at the gift.
Oh, great. Okay, good. It's called Loyal Gin. That's where Prairie Wolf Ranch is, our family's farms in Loyal, Oklahoma. Not many people are familiar. Anybody familiar with that town? Population probably 30, I guess. We're in town. We're out of town. Population 10. The synergy I have up there. I did my MBA at OCU, and you hear that term synergy a lot, and it sounds great, but when you really see how it can work, you really understand the power of it. Rough Tail Brewing, I don't know if you're all familiar with them. We're doing a co-branded product with them. We're doing a co-branded product with Strong Tonic, the local tonic producer here. And these are just going to be amazing products. Right off the bat, we kind of have all this momentum. Instead of launching a kind of a unique product and starting at 0, we're kind of starting at 50 to get to 100. So that's something that's really fun to do, is work with other local businesses to help each other grow. I feel like I'm flying through this. Moving forward, the building you see here, just that middle section, is just right here. So we have the building plans. We're in the historic district of Guthrie, which is great, but it's kind of hard to get new buildings started. You go through a whole list of red tape. But that's the ultimate plan. We've, after about 2.5 years here, we're in 4 states. We're Oklahoma, Arkansas, Illinois, Texas. Colorado comes on end of the month, and Maryland, oddly enough. Just funny how different states fall in place. We've officially entered kind of a capital-seeking model now. We're actively seeking capital. We kind of have our phase 1 done. We are in thousands of places around Oklahoma. We're in almost every liquor store in the state. We're in 500 or 600 restaurants, bars. So it's going very well. Now we're in the mode of let's add on and scale up. So that's kind of our. As of a week ago, we officially entered the seeking capital phase. We're kind of a phase 2. We have so much momentum now. We just want to keep it going. That's my presentation. Questions? Yeah.
Capital uses.
What we need capital for? Mm-hmm. Well, you see the building. It's we were so happy to be in this this historic district, which is great. But you have to build to certain codes. So we have to do this same style of this concrete block, and it's pretty darn expensive to build like that. We want to do sticks and bricks, but they won't let us, which is kind of frustrating. But so it's going to be new build, mainly just, you know, we kind of started this and we're learning as we go. Our expenses were towards producing product, bottles, caps, you know, the hard products, but marketing budget, we didn't have nearly enough of a marketing budget. Things like that, we've just hired a marketing firm officially, which is great, but now our small marketing budget has gone back to pretty much nothing because it all goes to them. So it's kind of just the operating capital, I guess you'd say.
Well, from my point of view, I mean, buildings are a classic, you know, business plan necessity. It's, you know, land in the land category. But I don't want to invest in you building buildings. I want to invest in you growing your product.
Well, it's a matter of scaling up. Yeah, our place is packed. So
I understand, but I mean, I would have a resistance, and I would say move part of it to something that looks like a brown paper bag on the side of the highway. You know, just some big ugly tilt up like everybody else. That's cool, but I don't know how that is going to get more bottles on more shelves 300 miles away. I'm just saying that's just my reaction to it.
Okay.
The product is very interesting, especially the coffee product. I don't drink coffee personally, but I certainly drink things made out of coffee components. And you guys have a signature cocktail that is going out and buying.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, we're in, you know, 500-ish restaurants, and about 200 of those have some sort of specialty cocktail with it for the fall, especially, which is great. That's kind of when everyone, and slowly but surely people are moving Kahlua off the shelves and just carrying us. So that one's.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, which is great. That one sold about. I don't really go too much into sales and things, but it's done since its inception, which was only about a year ago, about $250,000 in sales, just that one product.
I'd like to see more about sales, and I'm sorry to triple question you, but
yeah.
I think I'm very interested in that thing you just kind of offhandedly mentioned.
Sure.
Is that transition of kicking Kahlua out?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Because Kahlua is as old as I am.
Okay. Well, and the main difference, it's, you know, the rate's higher, which was great. I mean, you know, we're not big put gold medals all over, but that was a fun one to get. See that wine users rates higher, Patron XO, Kahlua, all of them, Tia Maria. It costs less, which we were happy to do to kind of just give it that last little kick. And it's all natural. It's the only coffee liqueur made with coffee is our kind of
What's
joke.
the ABV on it?
20. So it's a true liqueur.
Okay.
Yeah, 20%. It's not from colorings and flavorings, which those legally have to say on the label, caramel coloring and all that. Ours can legally say natural. So we're writing that natural way pretty hard.
And because of the natural component, have you looked at European? Because a lot of U.S. products are not even beginning.
I've got samples in about 15 countries in Europe, Singapore, Costa Rica, Mexico. I've sent samples to hundreds of countries and states, and we've got a national broker that's helping us do that. Because every country's got their whole list of, you know, rules and regulations. So
Sure.
Yeah.
People in Europe are very harmonious and natural. I won't say anything anymore.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
When I think about these sort of companies, think about distribution, and it almost like slowly happening in kind of a radial pattern, expanding out. Can you explain kind of your distribution model going to Colorado and Maryland?
Well, it's funny, you know, my mindset when we started, it's going to be Oklahoma, and then we're going to Kansas and Texas. You know, it's going to be right here, but which is a great problem to have. It's me calling distributors, telling them what we have to offer. But then Illinois calls and says, we need an all-natural coffee liqueur. That sounds great. Can we buy it? And I say, yes, I'll ship it to you tomorrow. So that's kind of how it's happened. The products have become just recently popular enough where a fella in Maryland who owns a distribution company called Craft Distributors, they have no interest in another vodka. There's 3,000 vodkas. That's a hard out-of-state product to push when you're not the local guy. But this one, there's nothing like it that exists. So they call us and say, you know, I mean, literally, they say, can we buy it? We say, of course.
And then my second question is, since you guys have been in business for a little bit and you're making money, what's your relationship with the bank? It seems like you guys might be bankable at this point to build a structure.
We've got a great relationship with the bank. It's a buddy of mine's dad who owns it, so it's been fantastic to deal with. We're just kind of looking at different options right now. I like working with individuals much better than I do working with banks. That's just kind of, I don't know how I work, I guess. But so we're looking at all options. I mean, and you know, we're not in, like I said, we just kind of transitioned to this phase last week. We're not in a huge hurry, but we can just kind of see, you know, if things are doing kind of how we think they're going to go. We need to kind of we just need to kind of get another round. So.
Do you have a map of what that injection looks like? How much?
How much we're looking for?
Yeah.
No, we don't have anything, especially anything presentable. It's kind of just been discussion over dinner, you know, the last few days. But we've been doing these speeches. I did one in Tulsa last week, and it kind of let us know we need to kind of move to the next mode. So we'll have some stuff on paper here soon.
I got 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's not every day you hear about a product displacing a unique product off the shelf, like Kahlua. It's been for years. I'm a Kahlua lover, so I'm not going to look up a new product. But are you having problems keeping up with the demand on that product?
No, our factory can produce a good amount. You know, people always say, you know, we're in thousands of locations, but we haven't reached a point yet where, you know, we can't fill our orders. That hasn't been an issue yet. We can see that happening in about, you know, maybe 12 months, but right now it's not an issue. We can produce.
Okay, and
a lot of booze.
what's your current marketing model like? You just
events.
What about just events?
I call, you know, we actually hired our first salesperson. I call, you know, 20 restaurants a day, every day.
Have you guys gone through like your bartender competitions or anything like that?
Oh yeah, the ORA that was this last weekend. The first round of the bartenders competition was a Prairie round. We do. I've got 3 events tomorrow. We do like 50 events a month. I mean, it's crazy.
Have you called John Tapper yet?
Who's that?
The guy in Bar Rescue.
No.
Yes, he definitely does product placements in his show.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially premium stuff.
Yeah. That'd be probably out of our price range if we've got Grey Goose trying to get up there too. But yeah, ours is just grassroots to the core, and I've presented to, literally over 1,000 places, and I can count on one hand who said no. I mean, it's people want local, fun stuff, and it's not a crazy price product, so they pick it up.
What's your price range for your 3 products?
You know, general on-the-shelf price is about $18. We on purpose went after Tito's on this. That's the most popular vodka on earth right now, so we did it $1 less wholesale. We on purpose went after Kahlua on this. We did $1 below wholesale. And this, we kind of wanted to be under, I don't know if you are all familiar with this, kind of the Hendrix, kind of the new snazzy gins that are popular at Hendrix and 209s and those. We just went under them. So we want to be a better product, a local product, and ultimately, if you're just strictly numbers, we're cheaper as well.
So what size bottles do you offer as far as you and just a standard 0.75 liter? Or?
The vodkas and everything, 50 ml, 750 liter handle. This is in 750 only. Liters come out next month, which on premise is really happy about. And that's just 750. That's kind of a standard bottle, so it'll be some time before we scale that up to another size.
I was in hurry mode, obviously, but in the late 90s, I did a lot of business in Japan, and we saw Tabasco bottles creep onto every table in every restaurant in the farthest reaches of Japan, and we were mystified how we could be way up in the north in a town nobody's ever heard of in America, and there would be 2 Tabasco bottles. So have you guys talked about, looking for a partner that can make some kind of overseas magic happen like that?
Well, Santori is the largest liquor company on earth, and the president of Santori has a bottle of this by his desk currently. I have a photo of it sitting on his desk, so I've talked to almost every country in the world. We're trying to expand, and it's expanding quicker than we thought. But I'm always looking for new countries to go to. Always.
You said that liqueur is natural. What does that entail? Because organic entails 70%, at least organic or above.
It's not organic. It's just it's all from real ingredients. The ingredients are molasses, coffee, our corn used as the base. There's no Kahlua. Every other liqueur that I know of it's a flavoring component that makes up. It's chemicals that taste like coffee. And the coloring, we put it in a clear bottle. Kahlua is in a brown bottle. It's caramel color that makes it a color. So it's the only one natural.
Yeah.
You see that on the PowerPoint there. It's the only one that can say that. So it's just an ingredient list, and you send it to the Fed, and they say you can use that. You can't use it. We're the only ones allowed to use it.
And then my second question was on the gin and the Prairie vodka. Have you ever thought about maybe putting at least for in Oklahoma, some snazzy OKC or just something like that? Oklahoma's all about.
We've been asked that a ton, and we at first everything was going to have Oklahoma on it, but we didn't want that to be the reason that it was cool. We want it to be an awesome product that is made in Oklahoma. So we didn't want that to be glaring on the front label. We like our labels. They're simple, kind of early 20th century poster design. We like empty space, so we wanted to keep them as as busy as possible. I see what you're talking about. We went over that. That was like
Well,
months.
because I mean, I saw that Prairie vodka in the liquor store, like probably when it first came out. But there was nothing so much that made me want to buy it. But I swear, if I saw something with like the Oklahoma outline,
well, the new thing we're doing
it's,
too,
you know,
marketing-wise, or go ahead.
Oh, just knowing that this is the first distillery in Oklahoma would have definitely been.
Well, and I have a follow-up question to that. What are you doing? What's your education model for the people that know that it's local? That's how I found you. Is that my liquor store said this is a local company in Guthrie, and this gin is pretty good.
That's how we spread the word. We talk to people, I mean, all day, every day. And, you know, you do 20 accounts a day. Pretty soon you talk to 3,000 accounts, and then you restart. Just keep talking.
So do you have an educational model to get the word out locally and then to go?
Well, you know,
it doesn't matter.
It's
really.
just events and talking to people. Like, you know, this month we literally have 40 events in 30 days. So it's just a matter of meeting with enough people, and we've seen it. It kind of grows exponentially. You know, you tell 100 people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's grown to the point where a year ago when I did this, I would say we're a distillery. They'd say, does that make beer? I have to kind of explain it. Now I say we're Prairie Wolf, and they say, oh, I bought that at a liquor store. I've had that at a restaurant. It's changing quickly, which is really fun for us. Yeah.
Are you listed on the states made in Oklahoma site?
We're one of the, whatever the higher level MIO, Maine Oklahoma Coalition is, and the Oklahoma Restaurant Association, the Maine Oklahoma tent, serving all Prairie Wolf cocktails. Wow. Yeah, they're always, you know, the Daily Oklahoman always has this on their recipes. You can cook with it, so it's always in the Daily Oklahoman for that purpose as well. MIOs are nice. It's a cheap investment for a pretty good amount of return. And they did some billboard sports too, which were nice.
Neat. I like to see that in the presentation too, in terms of, I mean, there are two different strategies. Obviously, the state strategy is different than the international.
Well, it's, you know, the more we expand, the more I realize we need to get Oklahoma rock solid, because marketing budget is nothing, essentially. So the more I spend out here, the more sample I send out. Then they say, well, can we get some POS? And I say, well, you know, crap, I don't have very much to go around. So the more we expand is great, more sales. But then I'm kind of shrinking back down. I say, we need to get Oklahoma rock solid. We're in a lot of accounts, and this lead up to the holidays, I think, is going to be I mean, these next 4 months will be more than we probably did the previous, 10 months. It's going to be really good.
Who came up with the liqueur?
The idea?
How did that come about? Or just
Well, it's funny, as a local...
Because I've heard nothing but good things about it. I didn't even know it was Prairie.
This is kind of a crowd favorite. This is the one we do samplings. I bring, a few bottles of everything. I bring 50 of this, because this is the one that people start lining up for. Vodka is where you start. That's the cash flow. It's where everyone drinks. Everyone knows vodka. We wanted to kind of double down on our craft side of things. You can't buy locally grown coffee, or maybe you can, but it's very good. There's a guy that lives just down the street from me that owns a farm in Kona Valley, Hawaii. And I talked to him, and I was like, you own this farm that's amazing. It's the best coffee on earth, Kona Valley certified. So he ships it to us. We roast it here and produce it here. It just kind of turned into a cool deal. And then the first time we tasted it, it was awesome. So we were really happy. Yeah, so now I need to do a business trip. Yeah.
Do you have only a single source for the coffee that goes in the dark?
Yeah, it's from this guy. We like having it from an Oklahoma source. He can source it from a lot of other places if we need to. I mean, he's a pretty big player out there, but for now we're going to keep it with him just because it just kind of comes with part of it.
My concern is weather events in Hawaii occasionally.
Oh yeah, we could figure something out. Yeah.
Last question. Yeah. Just a little constructive criticism. I'm a gin drinker, and I've seen that gin, and I've never bought it because it's not that appealing to me. Mm-hmm. But like also, for you to say that it's from Loyal, Oklahoma, like if that, that would just be another incentive.
Well, one marketing mistake we made. We wanted each one to have its own feel to it, each product. Now, how my Left Hand Brewery has like a left hand on each one. There's going to be the red. Our actual logo, that circle, or what's on my shirt right here, is going to start being on every bottle now. So, because so many people are like, when's your gin come out? And it's sitting right there. Gotcha. And I kind of realized, we're kind of running 3 different companies instead of one. Right. So that'll be good. That's something the marketing companies help us with. And then our whiskey comes out in June. We've never had a pre-sold product. Every drop we have produced 2 years ago now is going to be sold before we release it, which is just awesome, amazing.
All right, what can 1 million cups as a community do to kind of help you out?
It's everybody kind of knows about the local breweries, the local this. Everyone's kind of in that moment now, supporting it, and we just kind of want to let people know, that can be used for spirits as well. We're in. People always first question I ask, where can I get it if I come to your distillery? And I always say any liquor store in the state has it. For the most part, 90% of them do. And if they don't, within 12 hours it's there. Because we love how the distribution works there, and a whole bunch of restaurants. So, tell your friends.
All right, thank you. All right, well, that's it for today. I think we got an announcement for the contest real quick. The drawing, or I don't think we have the...
Well, I need to Claire, did she give you any prizes today? Jennifer?
As far as the contest goes, for people that actually completed a question, one of the questions was Synapsis Energy. What are you at, Synapsis Energy? Thank you, Kenny. How can we help spread the word about 1 million cups? You can tell everybody about our social channels. You can let everybody know where we're at, right here, every Wednesday, 9 o'clock. Invite them to the group. Invite them to 1 million cups. If you come and you bring somebody, then it's their first time, or just if you bring somebody, we're trying to get a contest going where you put your business card or whoever you brought into a bucket, and we're going to start giving away gift cards. We didn't get to do it today.
I'll draw one and I'll get the gift card next week.
All right, so we'll go ahead and draw one today, and then we'll get the gift card next week. So that means you got
the mold right out.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, and we have something for you as well, Kenny. If you get over with Brandon afterwards.
Yes.
And then also the next question was, what does 1 million cups need to grow in Oklahoma City by Benny from OKC? Right. Thank you, Ben. What do we need to grow? More people. All right. Spread the word. Tell everybody that you can. Invite them. Same thing. Let them know about the Facebook channels. Hashtag 1MCOKC for your photos and any type of tweets or messages about today. Yes.
I invited 12 different people in the last 48 hours. They're all technical people to come here, and they all said the same thing. Two varieties of answers. One, oh my God, it's 9 o'clock. There's no way. I have meetings, I have this, I have that. The second version of the answer was, if my boss found out I was going to some kind of startup thing, that would put a bad, stink on me. That's a serious problem.
We can't do nothing about the second one.
I don't accept that as a law. Kaufman has to have some reason. And few people have schedule flexibility.
There's 72 cities. We can't write the only city. I see that.
Yeah. So the reason that they choose 9 o'clock on Wednesdays is they want it to be entrepreneur focused, and they believe that most entrepreneurs are available then. It's not meant for corporate America.
Thank you. I believe you 100%. I'm just talking about the kind of resources I have and unique access to. It's not working for them at all. And I'm wondering how that's going to overcome other places. Yeah.
I think we've got ways to address that. And Jeff Lipscomb, I hope is the right person. There you go. Yay. We drew your card.
All right.
There we go.
You got to bring somebody too.
Hey, Zach.
Sir.
Put that card back in and draw another card, and I'll give a ticket to the Disney Institute tomorrow worth about $450. Tomorrow, right here.
Everybody got their cards in here yet?
If you don't have cards, just get them up. Up there.
Only new people. Only new people.
It starts at 8 o'clock. Starts at 8 o'clock. Goes to 4 p.m. It's
Ron behind you.
And it's about creativity and innovation in the business.
Hey, Ron. Sure.
I saw you too, Caitlin. Thank you for mentioning 1 million cups.
Thanks.
Sir.
Robert.